You're at the stage where you've completed a trading course, you're ready to trade in the live environment, or you're just looking to switch brokers to a new trading platform. Now, the main question you're asking yourself is, what broker do I go to trade with? How do I choose this broker? What criteria do I need to set for certain expectations they need to meet to be able to serve me as a trader in order to get the best of my trading experience without having to risk my funds or worry about my funds sitting somewhere in some offshore location which I can't control, or in which I don't have comfort in knowing somebody else is regulating or looking over. So the first thing you should consider when looking or choosing for a broker is location. Where is my broker based? Where are my funds being held? A lot of brokers, given a lot of the regulatory issues that have been faced, or stringent regulations over the last 12, 18 months or so, especially in Europe, have set up a lot of offshore entities in the Seychelles, Cayman Islands, St. Vincent, you name it. But a lot of these entities may not have the tight, stringent regulation or compliance oversight over client funds as their European main counterparts. And the reason they're moving offshore is to offer greater leverage or have a bit of a less stringent approach to onboarding clients. As we know, the main key locations that have been striving or are seen as a greater reputation in the FX industry, I would say, are the UK, Germany, Australia, and New Zealand. Now, they are also seen as the five eyes, or the four eyes in this case, in the FX industry in terms of regulatory oversight. The UK, especially in regards to with the FCA, pioneered a lot of regulatory oversight, as well as with ESMA, who have been linking up in Europe with Germany and 19 other European states to create a more rounded approach to financial governance. Now, since that's happened, a lot of clients have moved over to Australia and New Zealand brokers to seek that security that they would have got with their home counterpart, and they feel a lot safer than setting up in more exotic offshore locations such as the Seychelles, Cayman Islands, St. Vincent, ones that we've touched upon. So these is your first question. It's the location of your broker. Where are they based? Now, the second point is registration, regulation. Now, you may be trading with a broker that is FCA regulated, but you may be housed in a broker that is registered in Seychelles, for example, or St. Vincent, which conflict of interest with the regulation. So you've got to really understand, where are your funds being held? What company are you facing? Because your counterparty risk is that offshore company if you are sitting in that offshore company. So you have to get to know what company you're looking at parking your money with. That leads me on to the third point, and that is people. When you speak to brokers, you're going to be speaking to people. Now, it's important that you research who these people are. How long have they been in the FX industry? What are the general market participants saying about the people within the broker? How many staff or how well staffed are these firms? You could be facing, or your funds could be in a broker sitting in the Cayman Islands or St. Vincent or any of these other exotic locations. There's only one or two people sitting in their office. So how much comfort does that really offer you as a trader when you're trading with a broker, knowing that they're not well staffed at all or well equipped possibly to handle your issues? So that is an important thing. It's important you do your research. Get onto LinkedIn. Google the name of your account manager. How long have they been in the FX markets? How well do they understand your requirements, what you need, compliance oversight? Do they have qualifications fit the role to be able to serve you. People is an important thing, and the most important people are the people that own the businesses. So that leads me on to my fourth point, which is company registration. Excuse my spelling. Company registration. Now, if you're dealing with a company in the UK, Europe, Australia, or New Zealand, generally a lot of these companies publish yearly tax returns. And this is normally publicly available, or you may have to pay a small fee to be able to access them. But it's important to know how well funded or capitalized is the broker you're trading with. If you're trading with a broker, or if you're looking to put in a significant size of funds and the broker, say, has under $1 million in equity or even less, it may put certain question marks onto whether you're going to park your money with that broker or not. So it's important to see, has the company been filing returns? That really gives a good indication as to the reputation of the company and how well your trading experience, or for you to expect your trading experience to run with that particular broker. Now, given all of this point, we're heading back to the regulatory environment here. First, a roundup: location, registration, regulation, people, company registration. Now, the fifth point is leverage. I remember when starting out in this industry, 100 to 1 was seen as phenomenal. Now, this whole euphoria of 500 to 1, 1,000 to 1, and I've recently seen something that's 10,000 to 1 leverage has crept up in the last 5 years or so. Now, this is fantastic for people, you know, really looking to capitalize off margin, but also, as you know, leverage is a double-edged sword. As well as increasing your leverage, your risks also increase. So if you see a broker that pops up on your screen offering you 10 or anything for me above 1,000 to 1 leverage, should put a question mark next to, because again, it goes back to location, goes back to regulation. How well does this broker look to satisfy your needs? Are they looking to provide you with a safe environment to trade? Are they looking to look after their clients, or do you feel they would have a duty of care to their clients if they're offering you such a great leverage? As you know, the more risk you put on, the more likely you're to lose your money. So you've really got to consider all of these things before parking your money with a broker. Just touching back onto point 2 here, we mentioned registration, and for you to research where it is exactly the company you're working with is based. The second point we forgot to touch on was regulation. Now, regulation is also very important because you have key regulators around the world. I'll list some really key ones here. You've got the FCA in the UK, as we mentioned in point 1. You've got BaFin in Germany. You've got ASIC in Australia, the FMA, FSP in New Zealand. These arguably are probably the most reputable regulatory bodies in Europe and Australasia for clients to be trading under. They would provide you with an environment for trading that is governed from a compliance standpoint at a very high level, looking after the onboarding of clients, having a strict AML, KYC procedure, which means the more of these words or buzzwords you hear, the more greater the chance is that you're with a broker that is right for your needs, and that broker is likely not to go bust because of this compliance oversight from these regulatory bodies. So do definitely consider these points when you're picking a broker. Location, the registration, where are they based, the regulation, who's governing them, the people. Research the people that you're speaking with. You're speaking with an account manager. What's their LinkedIn profile like? How many people are in that company? Number 4, company registration. Where are they registered? Have they filed their tax returns? What's their, what's their income looking like for the last tax year? The fifth point, leverage. We're coming into this world with 1,000 to 1 leverage, 5,000 to 1 leverage, all these ads popping up on our screen. Is this really suitable? At what point does it become ridiculous? All of these things for you to consider when choosing your broker. Any questions, as always, please do message us, like, comment, subscribe. We're here to help. All the best of luck with your search. Search safe.